Mr. Let's look at the $11 trillion which was spent in 8 years under former President Mohammadu Buhari to import fuel. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on the president to probe this expenditure. This he made during the book presentation in Abuja. So, should former President Mohammadu Buhari be called to provide answers?
Definitely. But unfortunately in Nigeria, that has never happened before. A former president being called to question, to come and answer. It has never. That's why, maybe we'll get there later. That's why I find something currently brewing too. Towards the direction of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. That's why I find it very interesting, because he is even the one volunteering now to come forward by himself to answer certain questions. If there is any inquiry, any panel, or, based on some other things that happened during his own time too, and one of his ministers, $6 billion, just thrown away like that. A lot of people even feel this OCBN probe, Emefiele and all that it's somehow absurd to do something like that without calling the former president Muhammadu Buhari to come forward and answer certain questions, because nothing Emefiele did was done without the permission or the knowledge. Some people will tell you it can only happen in Africa or in Nigeria. Over a decade, no nothing. So
should the president also probe funds that was used to import fuel?
Definitely. A lot of corruption, a lot of fraud happened. Even some of the monies that were collected, they were collected without doing nothing. They will give you the impression, maybe there are ships on the ice, and they were just all kinds of things, crazy, very absurd things were going on. Kyari must step aside. I'm not necessarily saying they should do with him what they did with Emefiele, arresting him but let him step aside. I think if they are serious about probing and getting into, they can do this thing. It's not just our people that are involved in this whole NNPC wahala. Some outsiders, some foreign principalities are also involved. In fact, some people have been saying that the World Bank, all this IMF, their main agenda is to keep Nigeria and other African countries down, to make sure economically we don't come up, so that we don't start challenging them, because they know we have the potential, the resources to come up and start challenging them, and they don't want that. That's why they will give you certain advices that will just mess up your economy. They will give you loans that, in fact, in the next 10 years, you will be paying the interest. The main loan is still there. And, so we need to, the president needs to really, look at the NNPC. In fact, it's not an option.